So foreclosure filings are up 22%. Is there going to be a flood of foreclosures hitting the market? Well, let's take a look. You may have seen headlines like this. Adam released a report that U.S. foreclosure activities have climbed in the first quarter of 2023. This caused a flurry of headlines. More Americans are losing their homes as foreclosures on U.S. properties rise. Foreclosures on the rise, particularly in Illinois, Delaware, and New Jersey. U.S. foreclosure filings jumped 22% and repossessions hit the highest level in 3 years. And foreclosures jump is another wave about to flood the market. Well, if we look at the facts, we will see that the last 3 normal years were 2017, 2018, 2019. And there were about 600,000 foreclosures a year during that time, which is a lot. And you know, anybody that loses a home, I mean, my heart goes out to them. But what happened 3 years ago? That's when COVID hit. And they did the forbearance program. They basically put a moratorium on foreclosures. So foreclosures were dropped. They were way down. And then we know what happened with the real estate market as it heated up and house values rose. So if you look at the average of the 2017, 2018, 2019 compared to the last 3 years, you can see that foreclosure activity is way down. Now this graph shows it even starker, because if you look back to the Great Recession, 2007, 2008, 2009, we can see that foreclosures exceeded 900,000 a month. So that was extremely high. But look where we're at today. We're well below 100,000. So yes, there was a 22% increase, but an increase at a very small amount. And the reason, of course, we're seeing the increase is because the moratorium was lifted about a year ago. And yes, unfortunately, there are still some people losing their homes. Although there's going to be much fewer people that will lose their home even if they're in financial stress. They could be in financial stress and they maybe aren't able to make their house payment, but we have so much equity in our homes, the majority of people, that they can sell their home and they can cash out. And that was not that way back in 2007, 2008, 2009 during the Great Recession. People owed more on their homes than they were worth. So they really had no choice but to let them go back to the bank because they couldn't sell them for what they were worth and they didn't have the money to bring to closing. So unless they did a short sale, which were very difficult, they lost their home. So a lot of people remember that today, and when we see these headlines about a wave of foreclosures, everybody thinks we're going to go back to the Great Recession, and we're just not. Things are not set up that way. So the U.S. foreclosure activity continues to climb, yes, but there were only 95,712 properties with foreclosure filings during the first quarter of this year. A total of 65,346 U.S. properties started the foreclosure process in the first quarter. Nationwide, that's 1 out of every 1,459 homes that had a foreclosure filing in the first quarter. And lenders repossessed about 12,518 U.S. properties through foreclosure in the first quarter. So again, any foreclosure is a bad thing, and my heart goes out to those folks, but these numbers are just really historically low compared to where we were back in the Great Recession. So there's no reason to panic, at least not yet. Foreclosure filings, yes, they began ticking up in late 2021 because that's when the federal foreclosure moratorium ended. So the moratorium was enacted in the early days of COVID-19, as you might remember, when millions of Americans lost their job, and this was to prevent a tsunami of homeowners losing their properties during COVID. And that program actually worked, and it kept foreclosures down. And now, with the market having increased so much in the price of homes, many people are sitting on a lot of equity. So if you are for any reason struggling to make your house payment, please reach out to us. I'm Jeff Grebe. I'm broker owner of Weichert Realtors Advantage Plus. We've got over 60 agents and 2 offices to serve you. And if you are in a situation where you're behind on your house payment or you're struggling to make that payment, give us a call and we'll be happy to look at all of your options and figure out a way that we can help. Our number is 865-474-7100, or you can find us online at advantageplusTN.com. So remember, when you see those headlines are made to terrify, but they don't clarify. That's what we do here at Weichert Realtors Advantage Plus. We bring you the knowledge that you really need. We're not going to panic you. We're going to tell you straight. We're going to tell you like it is. And I hope you will watch our next video when we look at what's coming up for a recession. It's a lot of talk about a recession too. So check that video out.